Hey everyone, Grayson the Bard here, and welcome back to day 154 of the Hunt Today. Hi Sasha. Hi dog. How are you doing? What's up? Do you wanna talk to YouTube? No? You're just gonna sit there while I record? Stare at me? Okay. Hey girly. I might leave that in. I don't know. Welcome back to day 154 of the Hunt Today. Only 2 days remain of the Hunt Today challenge, and I am so excited to be done. But I'm also really gonna miss it. I appreciate all the kind comments yesterday on the Lagiacrus video for my birthday, and people who commenting about like the challenge. Thank you all so much. There goes the dog. I guess I gotta keep it in now. Okay. Today we are fighting. Yesterday we fought Lagiacrus, who was the third place in Capcom's Monster Hunter popularity poll for the 20th anniversary. And today we are continuing up that ladder by fighting Nergigante. Technically Ruiner Nergigante, because I fought Nergigante earlier in the challenge because I wasn't thinking. But because Nergigante takes the master rank place of because Ruiner Nergigante takes the master rank place of Nergigante, I'm going to count them as the same monster for purposes of the popularity poll, but not as the same monster for purposes of me not repeating hunts. Listen, we got 2 days left. The rules are flexible at this point. I really like Nergigante. I think it is a great flagship monster and is an especially good option for a flagship Elder Dragon. It is challenging and it is like tough, but it is not like too overly in your face. Like, I remember back in Base World, Nergigante was like very much a triumph of a monster to take down, but it was also relatively easy to read. And once you got the hang of its attacks, especially its Supernova Dive Bomb, you could easily take it out. So there was that feeling of initial accomplishment, and then yes, this is a monster that I will be able to like easily fight a lot. There are some Elder Dragons and some monsters in Monster Hunter where I'm like, I'm gonna fight this thing maybe once or twice, and then I never want anything to do with it again. Nergigante is not one of those monsters. I really enjoy the fight, and Ruiner Nergigante is a great, like, step up for what regular Nergigante was. I remember when I first got to the Ruiner hunt back when Iceborne released, I was a little, at the start of the fight, disappointed because it starts off pretty slow. It starts off being not much more than a regular Nergigante fight, just with like a couple new moves of how it uses its wings and how it like slams down on you. But it was pretty slow, it wasn't super threatening, and I remember thinking, well, this is kind of disappointing for an MR 100 fight. I hope things ramp up, and then boy howdy did they ramp up. My favorite thing about boy howdy, what am I a grandpa from the 60s, from the 50s, from a time before? What is going on here? But anyway, I love the way that Ruiner Nergigante ramps up. It starts off kind of slow, plotting just a regular Nergigante fight, almost like it's testing you, like it is like checking to see if you are worthy of going all out against. And then once you start like dealing damage to it, once you start, causing it some hassle, it gets immediately faster and more aggressive, and it stays that way for the entirety of the hunt. It does not let up pressure for very long, and I don't remember which monster I was talking about it with. It was when we fought Primordial Malzeno. How, like, the final phase of Primordial Malzeno's fight is like a just relentless onslaught that you have to endure until it like wears itself out. And Ruiner Nergigante, towards like the middle and end of the hunt, feels that way. It does not let up. The openings you have to attack, that you have to capitalize on, are a lot smaller, and you have to try and like get in there and topple it and make sure that you're making the openings rather than waiting for them to come. But then when he does tire himself out, he does sit there for a good long time, letting you get good hits in. And something I really appreciate about that specifically is that Nergigante does not feel like it has too many hit points. It feels like a good amount. The fight, as long as you are capitalizing on it, it can be pretty short. But also, even if you are not able to I am not the best hunter. Y'all have been watching me for 154 hunts, potentially. You know that I am, very casual at this game. I am not a speedrunner. I'm never going to be a speedrunner. That's not how I like to play. even if you are like me and aren't the best hunter, the fights still don't feel like they plod on and take forever. You can get, like, you can have a good time with it, and I really enjoy that. I think Nergigante and Ruiner Nergigante are, like, a really good example of kind of, like, middle-level challenge in a Monster Hunter game. They're really tough, but they're also really fair, and that's the good shit when it comes to Monster Hunter fights. In terms of design, it's Nergigante, but a little bit darker, a little bit edgier. I like the look of the metallic spikes that he has, even if, like, I don't know, it's hard to say because I don't know how much Ruiner Nergigante actually adds to the design of Nergigante itself. Nergigante is already a great monster, but I really liked the contrast between, like, the black and purple, like, flesh tones that he has with the, like, the bright white porcupine quills. Having most of those be, like, black and gray and stay that same color throughout the hunt kind of takes away from the, like, the striking look of Ruiner Nergigante for me. I like the way that regular Nergigante looks a little bit better. But I will say it also makes Ruiner look a little bit more intimidating, which is, I think, what they were going for. I don't know, I prefer the look of regular Nergigante. And I do like when you break his arms with the quills on them, you see those white quills underneath, like, poking through. I think that's a really good, like, aesthetic choice. I don't usually talk about, like, the monsters' roles in the story a lot, but Ruiner Nergigantes is especially funny to me, because at the end of the Iceborne campaign, you fight Chara Ishvalda, you beat the big bad, you fight the old Everworm, you save the new world, you stop the big Elder Dragon threat. And then Ruiner Nergigante comes in and, like, kill-steals you, eats Chara Ishvalda, then flies away, goes off, and there's, like, a moment of understanding between you and Nergigante, and they're even like, yeah, Ruiner Nergigante must be, like, a very important part of this ecosystem. It keeps the Elder Dragons in check, and it's a real crucial part of this environment. And there's a beat, we gotta go kill it. And it just makes no sense to me. Like, I don't particularly pay too close attention to Monster Hunter stories. Well, I do like Monster Hunter stories. They're great games. But I don't pay attention to the story of mainline Monster Hunter games very closely because, for the most part, they're just kind of there to be a vehicle to get you to new monsters. But the complete disconnect between what the characters say and what you're expected to do is hilarious to me for Ruiner Nergigante. It is, like, it's perfect. I would have loved to, like, be a fly on the wall when they were pitching that and just see if anyone was like, hey, are we sure? But that is where I'm going to be wrapping up the ramble for today. My dog is staring at me from outside of my room, so I think I probably need to take her out. So I'm going to wrap up the ramble there. Tomorrow we are fighting the number one, the most popular monster according to Capcom's popularity poll from the 20th anniversary. We're fighting Zinogre tomorrow. And then on Thursday, the Fatalis finale. It's almost done. Crazy, that. Please stick around until the end of the fight if you can. When we get to the point where I'm attempting to wake up Nergigante with a true charge slash, I need everyone to just pretend that I nailed it perfectly and got it in one. Or just, close your eyes and don't look at that part until you hear the music start back up, because I definitely did not biff it big time. But thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Don't if you don't. And until next time. Oh, I need to do my ranking. As a reminder, I am spoiler-free on Monster Hunter Wilds, so if Nergigante or Ruiner Nergigante are going to be in Monster Hunter Wilds and they have announced that, or it's been leaked, or whatever, I don't want to know. This is all pure speculation on my part. I don't remember exactly what I said about Nergigante back when I fought it, but I think, like, Nergigante is kind of middle of the road for me as well, with, showing back up in Monster Hunter Wilds. I think it is likely because it's a very popular monster. It wasn't in Monster Hunter Rise, so I think they would potentially want to bring it back for Wilds. But I don't know. I also think they might give it a little bit of a break to let it have some breathing room before bringing it back in a future game. So regular Nergigante is kind of middle of the road. I think at like a 5 or a 6 for me to show up in Monster Hunter Wilds. So Ruiner Nergigante, being a subspecies, is gonna be like a little bit lower than that. I'm gonna say like a 3 or 4 of showing back up in Monster Hunter Wilds. But because of how popular it is, because of how cool the monster is, it's gonna be a 10 out of 10 for showing up in a future game. Now I'm gonna wrap up the ramble. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Don't if you don't. And until next time, I'll see you next time.